Hello, Kyle here. I am here to talk about the second episode of Moon Knight. Last week's episode I loved, and I gotta say, I thought this week's episode, I don't think it was as good as last week's, but it was a terrific episode nonetheless. I will start with the negative criticisms I have first. So first off, I will say that I thought that the pacing was a little bit too slow in this episode compared to the last one. It was a longer episode. It was about 50 minutes long, and sometimes 50 minutes works for some episodes, sometimes it doesn't. This time it kind of didn't work all that well because even though the Netflix shows tend to have longer episodes, it is a bit more jarring when you have a Disney Plus show that's a longer episode. I like long episodes, but at the same time, given what happened in this episode, there wasn't as much action as I was hoping there would be, and it was more of a exposition heavy episode. So I still liked the episode, but I kind of wanted to see a little bit more action. And another one of my criticisms is the action. I am waiting for this show to show us what type of action show it is. Is it like Daredevil, John Wick-esque action, or is it more so just your common MCU action that isn't that memorable, but it's still somewhat exciting? I was like talking to a friend of mine the other day who was saying that he kind of criticized the first episode's action, but I didn't have an issue with the action there because it was supposed to be through the perspective of Steven. This episode was more so focused on the relationship between Steven and Mark, and I was hoping we'd see a little bit more of some combat and some longer type fight sequences, but we didn't quite get that. We got a pretty quick action scene when he was finally in the Moon Knight costume, because he wears two Moon Knight outfits in this show, and one of them is Mr. Knight, which is just a tux, and the other one is Moon Knight, which is the one we saw from the last episode, and the one that was more like an Egyptian type of outfit. And I really love that one, and the Mr. Knight outfit was a little bit more present in it, but when he put on the regular Egyptian Moon Knight outfit, that had like a little bit of a quick sequence. So I'm hoping as the show progresses we get even more action and more combat, but I really love what Oscar Isaac is doing in this role. I really love the difference between his Steven and his Mark, and it's funny to hear him playing a British character and then you hear him playing his irregular American accent, Oscar Isaac self, and he does a great job differing between the two. What I forgot to mention in the first episode that I really loved was how they focused on just Steven's regular life as a gift shop guy at a museum, and I thought that was a very interesting way of looking at a character in the MCU, and also it was a really cool way of just looking at a character in any story, because he had a job, he had a possible love life that he didn't get to fully explore in the last episode. But this episode we get to meet the character of Layla, who, without going into spoilers, is an important part of the story, and I thought it was really cool that they introduced her the way they did. Of course, she was introduced last week through a phone call, but this week we got to see her in person, and we got to learn more things about Steven/Mark's past that I did not expect. Again, I haven't read the Moon Knight comics, so I'm very unfamiliar with the character, so this is all new to me, and I really like the way they developed the Layla character and her and Mark's relationship. Ethan Hawke was back in the episode as Arthur Harrow, a great antagonist. I really like the way he's portraying the character, and I love that what he believes he's doing is right. I love that there's a little bit of shades of gray between Khonshu, the god that Moon Knight is involved with, and Amunet, who is involved with Ethan Hawke's character. And I think that we don't exactly know who's in the right and who's in the wrong. I will say that I also love that, once again, we didn't get any references to the greater Marvel universe, because I love how this is an origin story and we get to actually meet this character without relying on other characters from other films or shows. But overall, I really had fun watching this episode. The pacing could have been a little better, the action could have been a little better, but I am digging how different it is. I love this exploration into Egyptian gods and Egyptian stories, and I really think that it's something unique and something we haven't seen before. So yeah, I highly recommend watching Moon Knight if you haven't already. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and have a great day.